Okay, at a certain time, when I got done with work today, I was in a meditative state, and I still am in it. Like, I'm so tranquil in the zone where I'm not out of alignment. So, in every moment, I'm just enjoying what pops up. I'm not guiding whether I should even think of where to go. And I'm totally flowing, and it's going in ease. The way that if you had no conscious perception of, say, you knew where you were going, but it's like almost letting it go on autopilot where you have it set on drive so you can tap into all the other awarenesses. That's how I could describe it for you right now. And when I look at these birch trees behind me and everything, it's just at the peak of the summer like this, everybody's out, everybody's doing stuff. But the whole year I've been integrating up to this point. And everybody else is like getting so high up that I'm actually like, yeah, I'm like up in the level, but I'm not like, you know what I mean? It's more like you gotta, it's okay. Actually, the state in general of what you get to is not of a certain degree of, like, say, knowledge. It is, but it isn't. If you have the genetic field to be capable of it, you're aware of that, that is the knowledge. But to be aware of it to where you would know and determine what from what, when you actually break it down in this physicality of our understanding, we can manipulate it for what it is. Not just that in certain aspects of what that is, but explain all that there is to know about that thing. Not just these couple of things that we pick up. Then we subconsciously keep on saying them, like certain patterns and responses, see, of just communication. That has gotten stale with the creativity in that, let alone that they have, it's good, but there's certain things that we say are not revved up or tapped in when we get talking to somebody. It's like that side talk comes into play of what we use first to get it going almost. And if it does get old for something, you can bring new, or you can bring something that's old to something that's losing a fact of what it had. And then all of a sudden they're happy about that, and they feel better about it. And it's all a matter of the fact is of what we do with our hands on the planet and what we get back from that, not just in money, but for the cause and effect of what happens around us. All of us. It's not just the money here, it's our well-being of our environment. Whatever money drives so much, it'll drive into a brick wall. You know what I mean? I'm just saying the rat race to get it for the thing. Because if it wasn't based off of like that, how could that get manipulated from us? Our free will, you know what I mean? Our free will would be there to be upon our actions upon whatever we do. Not upon how much somebody has to do something with. And if our will was, like mine, was to go, build this right now, just say, right over there. I'm not saying I would just do it right over there. But I'm saying, like, my free will could do that within, say, 2 weeks time in whatever I'd spent to make it. But then it's because of the land in general that you'd have to buy that, and then you'd have to pay taxes on it and different things, which is ridiculous because this planet didn't have time for that. See what I mean? It didn't have time for that because right now mankind don't have time for that. It's more like we're in the fact of that if we can't connect with life, we're cut off from what life is to be a reflection of. We don't find that in ourselves, we don't find that in anything that we are, do, or understand, or whatever makes sense. But at these times that we, are out and about doing things, enjoying ourselves, think about why aren't we doing that more? Be into what we are more. it'll start making you think about it, and then there's a lot of pain because of a lot of time you have wasted and have been integrating in fashions that don't want to be fashioned with your soul anyway. That's what causes pain anyway, and stuff like that. Them are the things that it wasn't a natural co-creative experience that you were supposed to have, or you wouldn't have all these pain and all these other things. That's why I say when more people get stronger with their will, and it takes many degrees of many things, not just, love, but then to get to a degree where we make that change and that impacts a lot more, that gets back, and trust me, it has to be in a fashion where nothing can screw with it. That's why a new civilization, a totally different fact of itself, passing a bill, people putting their money into land, a bunch of people, say thousands of people putting it into land, living in it without any taxes or anything like that. See what I mean? And actually living with it more. And that's why the architecture would be so beneficial for the planet. Not even that. We would know what life is and know what it's like, and not even be in an environment like that at all, because that was not the original want of the whole situation. But certain things would take place. That's why it was agreed upon, and then the wishes were made true. It was illusionary. This thing tried to take charge of it, but the real truth of it will break it down for what it is again, to make you see it, of where it slowly went off track. It was in a certain pattern where you bought into it over and over, and it became a normal, generation upon generation. And that means souls living and dying, forgetting, right? They're forgetting and then rebirthing. Now, if nothing was rebirthing on this planet, it would all know. It would be a longer cycle of itself because it had more life to be lived. We are the dominant ruler upon this planet. As an intelligent being, we have the capabilities of more things, of such things that go above and beyond the capabilities of which we want to even think of, that hasn't happened yet, when truly, to be honest, a lot of things are happening that are really outside of the box of this reality, that are happening with me. And you know that, and you can see that in what I do. But see, this is just me speaking my mind, letting my mind totally be free. It's doing that every day, and it is what it is. Like when I put more effort in the guitar, I'm gonna have more impact upon that category than I do if I put more time into the dance. Then I would have more time in that dance aspect, have way more degrees already, because I'm using that experience to build that of a momentum inside that cognitive function of itself, building that, and then it amplifies it to the levels that we can truly enjoy, like that makes sense fully inside of our mind to take it to the fullest version that we see. But sometimes that other things are added to it to even make it greater, or different variations, and we realize that every variation in itself is great and magnificent and doesn't hold less of an aspect than another, but all of it together holds that joy that's there to be had of whatever happens too. Because if nothing ever happened either, we would not be happening to be happy for what things are not changing into, when it's constantly changing, when we can't even keep up with it. And the thing is that if they can't realize that if you can't keep up with yourselves and be happy, there is some off shit going on that needs to be, like, you know what I mean? Because we're obviously getting too ignorant, and ignorance is so far away from it. We're trying to teach our children to be nice, and it's twisted backwards, because they're playing it off like nothing's happening really, and then like a lot of things are happening, and it's so this place, it never made sense to me. If I had it my way, it'd be done already. Everything would be in its place where it needs to be, how they want to develop it or whatever, but with the right thing for yourself. So then you're going to feel so much greater on planet Earth, for one. And that's the shit that really matters for life to be here anyway. You know, and it's not just because I'm just saying this is just a little planet, because other planets, I feel like I'm actually raising this planet too, because of the fact of aspects running through me, and I feel the earth too. And if I get like powerfully like triggered like that on deep levels, that means I can handle it on some levels that are that big, you know. And I haven't been getting like that at all, and it's been really just perfect, you know what I mean? But that's what I mean. We got to like realize what, you know, we really have. We use everything we can put forth, give ourselves time. You know, it's like whenever we feel like it, but in a way, I'm not rushing. I'm just constantly doing, and I get around to these things, but I'm doing it casually. I'm not like really stressing my mind over it, and that's why I can do so much. You know, and I just accustomed and humble to the fact of it. Now I'm seeing what's happening. I'm like, okay, good. The physical plane, I can do this, and I'm having more dreams lately too. Just a lot of things are happening, and the thing is that before I was in the dark about a lot of this, and that was the thing. It's making me see something that wasn't there before. That was like a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean? But sometimes that happens, you know. But it's all playing out in a rhythmic cycle. Like people coming out and people not going outside, or the patterns are just everything, you know what I mean? And when it's super nice like this, especially the 4th of July, I'm playing my guitar on the 4th of July too. Yep, I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be awesome, you know. I'm gonna record some videos of it. Hopefully tomorrow in Rylander I can pick up that 64 gigabyte SD card, because I need it. Oh, I'm just kidding. Sun is awesome. I was gonna go on a trestle and make the video, but I saw that gleaming birch tree, so I had to do it.